But as you come to stand, you're going to find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. So in mountain pose, your feet can be together, your toes touch, or you can separate your feet about hips distance apart. That's like a preference thing. One is it right and the other one's wrong. You find the place that you're finding your tallest spot. In the first few breaths of the practice, just noticing how the body feels today. Does it feel a little worn out from the week? Have you been eating and sleeping really well? Feel like fired up and ready to go? Do you notice any rotation in the body? Does it feel like one of your knees or hips is further forward or back? And then what is the quality of the mind today? Does it feel chaotic, distracted? Feel clear and centered? Is your mind in line with you? Do you find that you're in line with your principles and your values in your daily living? We want the body to be in line. We need the mind to be in line as well. Are there any intentions that you would like to set for today's practice? Something you really want from your time? And then on your next inhale, take both arms, reach them up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers. All but your index fingers, squeeze your biceps against your ears. So you can take those arms back a little further, kind of a little back and towards your thumbs. Good as you exhale, forward fold, allow your knees to side your hands to come towards your forward fold. So you can separate those feet apart a little bit if you like. Good, so you can take the heels and the toes in the same line. With those knees bent and the chest resting against the thighs, you can work towards straightening one leg. And then rebending it. And then the other side, bend. And straighten. And then trying to straighten both legs. Keeping that chest down on the thighs, the sit bones reaching up. Relaxing any tension in the back of the neck. Inhale, halfway, lifting your hands to your shins or your knees. Stick your butt out, arch your back. Exhale, forward fold. Place those hands down on the floor. Step back to a plank position. Good. Keeping that body nice and strong in your high plank. Push forward off the toes, lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, lifting upward facing dog or tall cobra, squeezing the shoulder blades together, down the back. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Good. So in your downward facing dog, you check in with those feet, see if those feet are about hips distance apart. Good. Nobody cares if your heels ever touch the floor, but that's the idea, is that we're reaching in that direction. And that those hands kept pressing and pushing the chest back towards the thighs. Good. Back to the next phase on. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop, step, jump, rock, float, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way to standing. Arms come up overhead. Find a little back bend. And then exhale, hands back to heart side. Good. Just a 2-second little break here. We're going to have everybody come with their back against the wall. Feet are as close to the wall as you can take them. If you want to bring a block with you, you can. You're only going to be there for a second. So you don't need to take your mat. Just find a spot against the wall. Good. So maybe your feet or heels are all the way in. You may want to take them on a feet that toes forward. We're going to bend those knees. Let your butt slide up the wall and do forward fold. And feel the way your toes grip the floor. When your hands come down towards the floor, walk those feet back as far as you can. Your knees can be bent. You feel the way your body weight shifts forward into those toes so that your feet are gripping, the toes are gripping. I want you to find that feeling in your forward folds to the next set of sun salutations. Mm-hmm. Now this is super fun, so you can roll yourself right back up to standing without stepping away from the wall. Good job. All right, everybody, that's roll. Back on your mats. So when I inhale, arms up, and I forward fold, and my butt goes way back on my knees. I keep the weight out of my toes. That's not so much what we're looking for, as I want you to try to forward folding, keep your toes gripping, keeping those hamstrings engaged as you're forward folding down. Okay, so give it a try. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, trying to keep those hips over your feet. So your toes are gripping. Body weight shifts forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Place the hands down, step, jump, walk, float it back. Chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, lifting upward facing dog or tall cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Good. So, you find that activity of gripping a little at the bottom of the foot. We want to see what we can do to strengthen the bottoms of the feet today in your practice as well. So when you're out there in flip-flops or barefoot at the beach, those feet are ready. Good. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop, step, jump, walk, float, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing, arms up, overhead, a little back bend. Press the hips forward. Exhale, forward fold. Try to keep those hips over your ankles. You can bend the knees, that's it. Feet active. Inhale, halfway lift. Reaching the chest forward. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Step jump walker, float it back. Slow lower. Yeah. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, forward. Exhale, hop, set, jump, walk, float, top and down. Inhale, halfway lift, hips forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way to standing, arms up, overhead, a little back bend at the top. And your hands back to heart center. Good, now feet hips distance apart. Inhale, bend the knees and sweep your arms up to the sky, Virasana. So your awkward chair pose. You're sitting back in that chair that's not there. And in this position, I want you to try to keep your knees from collapsing in. I don't even want you to squeeze them in. I want you to think about pulling them out. Now, instead of the knees being forward, just for fun, we're going to sit them back towards our heels so that our toes could lift up. And if you look down, you can see your toes. And then see if you can sit down a little lower. And then lift your chest up a little higher, but that's not your chin. Don't worry about your chin going up. Chin can stay in. Chest up. 2 more breaths. Sit down a little lower. Last breath. And then exhale, forward fold and straighten the leg. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, inhale, bend the knees, sweep your arms up to the sky with Virasana. Sit down in that chair. Good. Look down. Feet your hips distance apart, pull those knees apart. Good. Breathe. So try to take notice. Did you like your butt go to one side more than the other? Can you try to even it out? Pulling those knees apart, toes lifting up. Straight shift back. Good. No tension in the neck. Right? The shoulders, we're just lifting those arms up from the back. Good. 3. 2. Keep pulling this hip down. Yep. 1. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Your butt up, arch your back. Active back. Yes, exhale, forward fold. Ground the palms down, step, jump, walk, or float it back. Virasana. Inhale, that's upward facing dog or tall fold. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward between the hands, rise, warrior 1. Good. Hold in there in that warrior 1, just because I'm really gonna work your feet today. So can you press the big toe mound down, and then lift the other toes up in that front foot, and then spread them wide and place them down. So you have the widest foot. I can Fred Flintstone my foot out crazy. This is the opposite of the pointy toed shoes. Now, while you're keeping that big toe mound pressing down, you're trying to hold that space, bend a little deeper, and then you pull your knee out to the side a little bit, but this big toe mound stays pressing down, pressing down, pressing down. You do that same kind of idea in the back foot where your big toe mound presses down and the baby toe mound presses down. We're trying to activate those arches. Good. Keep pressing a little deeper into that side. Good. And then hands back down to the floor. Step back. Plank position. Slow lower. Chaturanga. Inhale. Upward facing down. Exhale back. Downward facing down. And now the left foot steps forward. And on an inhale, you rise up. Forward along the side. Good. You find the big toe mound pressing down. And then spread those toes out wide. Your baby toe side presses down. You got the widest flipper foot in the front that you can get. Keep bending a little deeper. And then pulling that knee towards the baby toe side. Good, bring those hands back on the floor. Step back, plank. Hold, back plank. Little belly draws in. Push the ground away. Push forward off those toes. Slow lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, upward facing downward tall pose. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Good. Lower those knees down to the floor. Sit back towards your heels, child's pose. Good. As you're resting here in this child's pose, turn your palms up towards the sky. In this gesture of giving and receiving, you offer your practice away. Turning those palms back down onto the floor. Inhale, rise up. Tabletop position, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, offset, jump block float, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep your arms up to the sky, Virasana, sitting back in your chair. And then come all the way to standing as you exhale, arms over. And then bring your hands back to heart center. But this time the big toes come together. Big toes touch, ankles touch. You're trying to squeeze your knees in towards each other. Hands can come back behind your head, always nice and wide. And instead of arching our back here, we're gonna really think about pulling our ribs in so that you get like a hollow body feeling. Good. Come up on your tippy toes. And then down on your heels. Good. Come up on your tippy toes. Squeeze those ankles together. Squeeze them, squeeze them. And then back on your heels. Good. Come up. Inhale. Squeeze those ankles together. And then back on your heels. Very good. Up on the tippy toes. Exhale down on the heels. Last time, up on the tippy toes. Up and hold them up. Squeeze those ankles together. Arms can reach up towards the sky. Hold. Breathing. Abs are in. In the back. For 3. Keep squeezing those ankles in.
It's so hard.
And one. Release them back down. Good. Heels are on the floor, hands on the ground. With the toes are together, the ankles together, the knees together. Everything touches. Bend your knees this time. I want you to sit down as deep as you can. Heels stay on the floor. You can use your block out in front of you. Feet together, toes together, knees together. Put those hands out in front of you. Come up on your tippy toes. Your butt stays low to your heels. And then squeezing those ankles together, we're gonna press the heels down towards the floor. I don't care if they touch. And then back up on your tippy toes. And then down on your heels. And up on your tippy toes. And down on your heels. And up on your tippy toes.
Last one, down on your heels. Keep them down. Hands come down. Straighten those legs as best you can. Keep the weight in the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way to standing, arms up, overhead, back to the top. Your hands back to heart center. Good, step the right foot to the back of the mat. I'm gonna face the long edge of your mat. Good, so both toes turn out. You got a nice wide stance for goddess pose. So in goddess pose, we wanna make sure that like when the knees bend, they track right with the toes. So if my knees were coming in like this, then my toes would be too far out. I wanna bring my toes so that they face the same direction. Try to turn out as far as you can, hands reach up towards the sky. As you exhale, come down as low as you can go. Squeeze those shoulder blades together in the back, and then back up. Good. Exhale, pull down. Knees go wide. Chest stays tall. Good. Inhale up. Exhale down. Pull those ribs in. Yes. Inhale up. Exhale, pull down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, pull down. Stay down. Take your arms out to the side of your glute trays. Squeeze those shoulder blades together a little bit. Reach them out a little bit. Keep trying to turn from that arm bone as far as you can. For 5. Get those knees to go back behind those toes. Back, back, back. 4. No, and pull back. Flex you, flex you, flex you. 3. Yes. 2. And 1. Up on the tippy toes. For 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Heels come down, straighten the legs. So nice. Little movements from side to side, Skandasana. You use your hands, you use the blocks, use anything you need. You don't go down lower than you should. We're sitting to one side. My toes come up in the air. I'm only going down as far as it feels good for me. And then I go to the other side. I can, like, you wanna like move your side around, you can work on getting up from these low positions. Take the blocks with you, nothing in the knees. As you're moving, and turn towards it, or away from it. How do you make this feel really, really, really good? Good, come on back through the center. Next time you're coming through center, we'll bend the knees, hands in your hips, come all the way to the stand. Good, now this time we're turning the toes in on purpose. So we did one where we turned the toes out on purpose, now you're turning them in on purpose. So my heels are wide, and my toes turn in, look down. Knees are in, almost like a duck stance. Bend your knees and stick your butt back behind you. Hands come down to the floor, or a block. Legs are decently far apart. Good. Now, from that position, imagine your hip bone is trying to squeeze onto your thigh bone as best it can. And then from that place, try to like pull the mat apart like you're trying to rip it between your feet. If you try to straighten one leg and then rebend it. And then the other leg rebend it. And then both legs. And if you like to practice a tripod headstand, windmilling the legs up towards the sky, you can come into that position. Otherwise, you just stay in your forward fold.
And then inhale, hands to your hips. Exhale all the way to stand. Good, turn those left toes towards the front line. Step forward, coming to stand, back to your Tadasana. Good, shifting the weight into the right foot, with your left knee in front of you. Just holding on, standing on one foot. Couple of things really important here. One, drishti. You have to have a spot in front of you that you're looking at. Hold it. So ideally something that's not moving. Good, now with your hands on your hips, right? You want to make sure one hip's not way up in the air, they're even. One hip's not way forward or the other. They feel even in both hands. And then lift that hip a little higher than you'd like to. So you can straighten down in front of you as best you can without leaning back. So you stay tall. Good, and then rebend that knee. Now lift it up a little higher. And now straighten out again without leaning back. Keep the stance leg straight too. Yeah. Hips are even. Don't let that hip tuck up in the air. There's so many things. One more time. Knee in the chest. Bend. Lift the highest it can go. Stand super tall. Standing leg is straight. Extend that left leg out in front of you. Hips are even. And then put it back down to the floor and shake it out.
Give me the echo.
Even. Yes. We're trying to keep the work in the spots. The body's so good at finding like other ways to get it done. So
Why does
good.
your hip go higher? Why does your hip go higher?
Because your low back wants to do it. Look how high the leg is. It happens in all the poses. Alright, other side, shifting the weight to the left leg. The right knee comes into the chest. Same thing. So we're trying to find drishti. Where is my focus? Good. Hands on the hips. Are they even? You'll know because you can feel them with your own hands. Good. You straighten that leg out in front of you as best you can. Come on back to the center. Bring that knee and lift it up a little higher. Extend it out without leaning back. Standing legs stay strong. Sometimes there's like a good side and then a fun side. Yeah. The fun side is better to train. And then come in. It's like more enjoyable. It's harder. Lift it up one more time. The highest it can go. And then extend it out nice and long without leaning back. Yes, belly stays engaged. And then put that foot back forward. So maybe you feel your feet. Yes. Good. Inhale, both arms up to the sky, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, hands come down on the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands down, step, jump, or walk back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall pose. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward between your hands. Left knee lowers down. No lunge. So in the low lunge here, I want you to notice like as your weight comes forward, that the arch of your front foot drops down. And then keeping the sole of that right foot down, you sit back towards your left leg. And I want you to notice that your foot comes together. The bones kind of like smush together and the arch lifts. And then again, we come forward and the foot drops down. And then we sit back and the bones of the foot pull together. Yeah. 2 more like that. Bend. And then sit it back. Yeah. Last one. Bend. And sit it back. Good. This time you bend. And then tuck the back toe nose under. Yes. Inhale, come up for a low lunge, so arms reach up to the sky. Yeah. Now, with that knee on the floor, low lunge. Press your hips as far forward as you can. And then your shoulders and your low belly are going to try to pull away. And you're squeezing your left butt cheek a lot. Good. Now, inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can lift the knee off the floor, but your upper body does not go up and down. You're just stretching that leg back behind you. And then tap the floor. And then again, see if you can lift and lower. 3 more. Slowly and lower. Lift and lower. This one, lift and hold it up. Keep those arms reaching up and back behind you. Try as much backward as you can. Still squeezing that butt, keeping that leg as straight as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now the heel goes down, and you can sit back towards that left leg. Straighten that right leg out in front of you. This time, pull the toes back towards your face, and you find your splits as you visualize. So maybe it's a half split, you stay back. Maybe you're sliding more forward. Just notice what your body needs today. Good. Hands back towards your hips. Chest is high. What's a block? The blocks are great for these things. That way you can decide how much weight you going backside or rolling in, like, yeah, right there. Feel the difference? Good. Point those right toes down on the floor. For 5, 4, 3. And run one more time, foot goes back towards your chin. Good. That's your belly. Good. Forward fold over that leg. You take this whole thing and roll there, like that. Feel the difference? 3, 2, and 1. Rising back. Yep. You can wiggle your way out of that. Make your way back to your downward facing dog or top. Move around in your hips. Shake your head yes or no. From the child's pose, coming back to down dog. Everybody brings that left foot forward. Go ahead and lower that right knee down. Find your low lunge. Good. So, hands framing in that front foot, or on the knee, maybe on the blocks. Just gonna see about how this side moves that arch. So as you press more forward, you feel the arch of that left foot drop down. That's an important part of your gait cycle, how you walk. Your foot catches, it like drops in, it catches your weight, like you would catch an egg you don't want to crack. Takes some of the cushion. Then as you sit back towards your left heel, You feel how that arch and the foot wants to come together. It becomes, the bones come together, it gets like stiff so that you can push off. And then return back and press forward. And then sit back and see if you can feel that foot come together, those bones come together. Good, again, forward. Catch. And then pressing back, sitting back, keeping the sole of that foot down. Feel those bones come together. It's like a sock that goes all the way up your leg. Your skin just like pulls them right up. One more time, come forward. Foot softens. And then sit back. And foot pulls together. Keep the toes on the floor. Good, returning back and forward. And now in the low lunge, hands can reach up towards the sky. Your back toes stuck under. And it's really, really common here for your right foot to go over towards the left side. I want you to bring that right foot back onto the right side. Yeah, and then curl those toes under. Press your hips forward a little bit, arms up towards the sky. Good. We're gonna see about stabilizing that left leg. Foot is active. Right knee lifts up because it stretches back and you don't go up and down. And then it taps the floor. So if you start this too crunched in, you won't have anywhere to go. You really gotta spread yourself out. So taking a few more, see if you can reach it back. Tap the floor. Good, reach it back. Tap the floor. Good, kind of deepen that front knee. Good, chest stays up, open the front of the hip flexors. Lift it up. And down. One last time, lift it up. Hold it up. For 5. 4. Feel that front foot going. 3. Stabilizing. 2. And 1. Lowering it down. Knee comes down. Now we sit back a little bit, straightening that left leg out in front of you. You have your split on the side. So you check in with that back foot and make sure that it's staying in line with the knee. And it's very, very tempting to move your body, your torso, rather than your hips. So if my hips are off and they're like pointed to the side, and I'm like, turn your hips forward, and I go like this. My hips didn't move, my shoulders moved. I want to take it from that very bottom, right from like even my knee and my thigh bone, and try to turn my hips forward. Doesn't matter how far up or down you are, we really want to think about like how much can I get that right hip to come forward all the way from the thigh bone. We stretch the hamstrings differently when the feet are apart and the feet are together. We stretch the front of the hip flexor differently when the leg goes out to the side and when it's spread on. Point those toes on the left foot, down towards the floor, chest stays tall, hips stay forward. Breathe. Remember, this is your thigh bones going into the hip sockets, not getting pulled out. Think about squeezing those legs in towards each other. Good. Flex that foot. And then fold it over. You can get more weight on that left side. Good. Ever so carefully bring yourself back out of that position.
Let's sit back on your heels. Alright, so this time, we're gonna sit on the heels, but your toes are gonna curl under, and you're gonna try to get your like, the big toes to touch, and your ankles to touch, and your knees to touch. And then, yeah, knees are on the ground. Then you can pick a knee up and like walk it back a little, and then pick the other knee up and walk it back a little. We're trying to get those knees back as far as we can, so we're not like stretching out the toes, so this would be like me stretching out my toes, I'm like really forward. And instead I want to like come way back, so I get like more of the balls on my feet. Then bring your hands together and your elbows together. Put your elbows up a little higher than your shoulders, and then try to pull your thumbs away from your face. And I'll hold that position, squeeze it in. Good. Elbows lift, thumbs low. Sitting back on those feet. Feel it, relax the neck. The shoulders lift from like the elbows from underneath. Good, release your hands down. Come off those toes, untuck your toes. This one can be hard too. So when I sit back on my heels this time, my toes are untucked, but I don't want you to sit where your like heels go out to the sides. And then I'm sitting like in a bowl that my heels have made. I want you to squeeze those ankles together and sit back so that your ankles are dead on. Not rolled out like a sickled ankle. So squeezing those ankle bones together, your heel bones together, hands up, away from the face. If it's too much weight, you just come off your butt. Your butt comes off your heels a little bit. Breathe. Keep squeezing those ankles in. Squeeze them in, squeeze them in. Now those elbows a little higher, now the thumbs away from your face. The hands here are just to distract you from like the awfulness of the ankles. That's all that's for. It's like, let me just give you something else to think about.
I feel like my hands are flying.
I know. 3, 2, and 1. Come off of those feet, come wiggle them out a little bit. All right, before we finalize our like relaxing stretches today, I got a little like fun thing for you. All right, I got a fun thing. So I'm gonna sit back towards my heels. So I'm gonna take the toes again. All right, and maybe this is where you're just like, before we did where our heels stay down and lifted and lowered. You were in like this position. You're trying to get those knees to come like even. So you're sitting up and the ankles squeeze together. Then, for nothing but fun, you can see if you're like, oh, what can I like extend the leg out like we did when we were standing, and hold that position, and then like bring the foot back, and then like you gotta like shift your weight a little bit into the other leg, and then extend that one out, and then maybe hold and find your drishti point and breathe, and then bring that one back in, and then you can like straighten your legs out. For fun. Like, oh, let's take this thing that we did, and then this stuff that we did, and bring it together into something that'll just make us smile. And if you fall over, you're not very far from the ground, so don't worry. It won't be disastrous. See if you can extend a leg out and balance, no hands.
Will your feet flat on the floor?
So I'm up on my tippy toes, and my ankles are squeezing in, and then I'm taking this leg out in front of me, and I'm trying to lift it up, and then bring it back in, and then swoosh. Yeah.
Like, ah. It's just for fun.
If you tried one side, try the other side. It's so,
Nothing great happens, you don't give anything away if you get it. Good, and then when you've had enough, come to sit down, step those legs out long out in front of you. All right, so make sure that you can sit up tall. So if you want to sit up on something, you can. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky, reach up. And let's just hold this position. You have enough space behind you? If you need space behind you to roll back, I want you to find it. So, up like this, ankles, heels, toes touch. Okay, now point your toes, and then roll the baby toes out to the side so your heels still touch. And then squeeze the heels together and start to roll down. Super slow. Keep those heels squeezing in, toes pointed. Heels squeezing in, heels squeezing in. Super slow. You get almost to the bottom. I want you to pull yourself back up so you never come off. No coming off, no rocking up. Ankles squeezing together, toes turn out. Toes turn out, ankles squeezing. Good, roll back down again. Squeeze. 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 Get almost to the bottom. Pause. You're in all of the engagement that you can have. Like, and then squeezing those heels together. Don't lose the squeeze. This is inner thigh work. Let's go back again. Don't lose your squeeze. Inner thigh, inner thigh, inner thigh. Good. All the way back up. Last one. Toes turn out. Point. Really mean it in the legs. Keep those legs active. Roll down, roll down, roll down. Almost down. Stay to work. Stay to work. Breathe. 5, 4. Squeeze those ankles like you mean it. 3, 2, 1. All the way up. And then you can relax. Pull those toes back, forward, forward. Look out at the toes. I want you to try to make both feet even. So what happens is the sole of one foot often turns to look at the other one. And it's like, just want to be like, mind your own business, and then turn back, because it doesn't matter what that one is doing. Just pull your toes back towards your face as best you can, forward folding. You can relax all the head, neck, shoulder muscles, look down at your knees, or from your belly button. Keep trying to pull the baby toe back in line with your big toe. Try to get that outside of that ankle active and strong. Good, on your inhale, coming all the way back to the side. Good, right leg comes in, give out. Like you mean it, not like, Releasing that right leg out to the right side. Left leg comes out for us, and it squeezes in. So even though this leg is out there, and the right foot pushes against the left is also squeezing in, and then forward folding. Three more breaths here. Every inhale, finding a little more length. Every exhale, softening a little more. On your next inhale, rising all the way back up to center. Nice and slow. Squeezing that right leg in. Send it out long. Left leg comes in, give it a hug. Open up that left knee out to the left side. Press the left sole of the foot into the right leg. And then push or squeeze the right leg into the left foot so that both sides stay active. Big inhale, sit up tall. Exhale and forward fold. Relax any tension in the neck. Keep that left foot pressing against that right leg. The right leg against the left foot. Good. And all the while, keep that foot active if you're trying to stand on it, pulling those toes back towards your face. Breathe. Good. On your inhale, rising back up to the center. Extend that left leg back out. Both legs. Big. You're going to separate your legs now as wide as you can. If you are more comfortable with your heels on the mat, you can turn to the side. There's plenty of space in the room. So just like before, when we were in our wide leg position, the movement comes from the hip bones and the thigh. So I don't want to get caught behind me and then trying to reach. So I can't go anywhere from here. So I can make the movement less. I can sit up on a block. I can bend my knees. I gotta find the top of that pelvis. Hands behind your head, elbows nice and wide. Good. Thighs active, so you're trying to lift your heels off the floor. Good. Lean over towards the left as far as you can. Elbows stay in a straight line. Find your abdominal muscles, use them to pull you back up to the side. Good. Over towards the right. As long as you can. Find those abdominals, use them to pull you back up to the center. Again, sit. Left. And then back up to the center. To the right. Tip. Good. Pause. Get those elbows in a straight line. Oh, floor to ceiling. Find your abdominal muscles. Use them. Pull you back up to the center. Last time each direction. To the left. Good. Back up to center. To the right. Back up to center. Good. Both arms. Reach up. You can hold a block between your hands if you want to. You're holding it at that widest position. Yeah. Good. Sit up nice and tall. Lean over to the left as far as you can. Holding onto that block. Legs are active. Try to lift those heels up off the floor. Good. Now turn to face that left foot and fold forward over that leg.
Oh, here, Gary. I'll be nice and do the like.
Yeah.
No money in this house.
Good. Now, holding that block on the outside, so you're the side of the block. Yeah, it's cool. And then we're gonna turn to face, so your chest faces the side of the beginning. So you're still over that leg, but your chest turns. Yeah, find your abs, and then come all the way back to the side. One more time, over other side. It's just hard holding the arms out in space, huh? Who needs big heavy weights? We'll just hold our arms out. Breathe. Good, and then forward folding over the legs. So nice. Turn your chest to face between your legs again, but stay over that right leg. This is like the hardest part. Find your abs, and then use them, pull yourself all the way back up to center. Nice work. You can put that block in front of you. We're gonna go down forward now inside the legs. So forward folding down the side. Chest stays lifted. So if you have to round, I'd like you to come up a little bit more. So if I'm out here and I'm on the top of my pelvis and I like keep my chest lifted and I go to here and I'm like, oh wow, I get a lot of stretch. Amazing, dude. You have found the edge. Fabulous. I would rather that than you to round and be like, I'm going much, but less stretch. So chest reaches out, thigh bones try to roll behind you. Find the forward move. The heart space moves forward. The thigh bones are good, nice and slow, walking yourself back in, and then bring those legs together. They're gonna be like, they're probably gonna need some help, right? Like, bring those legs back in. One more forward fold, soles of the feet, ankles squeezing in. Even soles of the feet, ankles squeezing in, forward fold, rolling the thigh bones in. And as those thigh bones roll in, the base toe side of the foot comes in. And you feel the stretch differently side to side. Active feet. I'm here now, right? Center. Good, rolling down flat onto your back. Take your time. Setting up your twist, you can bring both knees into your chest, cross the right knee on top of the left knee. And then if you want, you can even try to like wrap your calf so that you're having a second wrap there. Now both knees go over towards the left side. And your right arm goes out to the right side. And you'll know right away if that's like, oh, that's too much. And then you can unwind the legs. And then back to center. And unwind and rewind in the legs. Both legs over towards the right side. And the left arm out to the left. If it's too much, we can find one. Easy. And then back, these come to the chest. Take a few little circles on your low back, one direction. Few circles, opposite direction. Draw those knees into your chest. Knees go wide towards your armpits. Reach out for the soles of the feet, maybe your baby toe side. Happy baby pose, pull those knees down wide. Soles of the feet face the ceiling and breathe. You can find a little gentle rock side to side. You can try straightening one leg. And straighten the other leg. We're trying to bring your toes down to the floor. Wide and down. Press the feet. Out. Active legs. Bringing everything back in towards center. Give it a squeeze. And then exhale, releasing for your final shavasana. In your final shavasana, with that 90 deteriorate nose, maybe coming around. So just like I said, remember that card is there for you always. Adjust as needed. I'm gonna say goodbye to the people that are at home so they can take their longest shavasana. The longest one they would like.